Good morning. My name is Gilles Salles from Memorial Sloane Kettering in New York. And today I would like to discuss how the new result we heard during the ASH meeting regarding the role of Polatuzumab vedotin in the management of a patient with diffuse large B-cell lymphoma will allow us to envision the role of this drug in the management of this disease. So just a quick remembering, the POLARIX trial assessed the value of replacing vincristine by Polatuzumab vedotin in the first-line setting of newly diagnosed patients with DLBCL with an IPI of 2 to 5. And the trial showed that this new combination, POLA or CHP, was leading to a diminution by 27% of the risk of progression or death of the patients, with an improvement of progression-free survival at 2 years of 6.5%. Well, there is no overall survival benefit, but we know that this will take time in DLBCL and that new tools have been developed in the relapse refractory setting. And actually, one of the tools that was developed some years ago was Polatuzumab vedotin itself in combination with BR. And we do know that there are a couple of other studies being run, which is POLARIX, Polatuzumab vedotin plus the RICE regimen for salvage before transplant, with or without, and POLARGMOX, POLARGO, for patients who are not transplant eligible. So what are we going to do with that? I mean, we know that the POLAR-BR resulted in a significant improvement of PFS and OS in a randomized phase 2 study. We have seen extended phase 2 data from this trial showing that this benefit was real. At the same time, we see other agents being developed, CAR-T being made available to a larger category of patients. We see tafalen as an option for this patient, and patients who respond to tafalen seems to have a durable response. And we see bispecific antibodies who are coming. So the question is, should we reserve Polatuzumab vedotin with this combination such as BR, POLARIX, or POLARGO, or others for the relapse refractory setting as an efficient way of salvaging patients? Or should we use it into frontline and then envision other combination in the relapse refractory setting? Well, not surprising, probably, I will really favor to move this drug in the frontline. And when we move this drug in the frontline, it's true that we unlikely will be using it in the relapse refractory setting, given the risk of cumulative neurotoxicity. Although maybe some patients who are fit and who will get a limited exposure to POLA, such as the POLARIX combination before transplant, can probably still benefit of this combination without a risk of additional toxicity. But I can't envision, after 6 infusions of Polatuzumab vedotin in the first-line setting, to reuse Polatuzumab vedotin in the relapse refractory setting. So the bottom message here is that given the improvement of progression-free survival that we see in this large randomized phase 3 study in the first-line setting, I will really put the benefit in of this drug in the first-line setting and go for other options in the relapse refractory setting, avoiding the risk of additional toxicity. So the field is moving, the field is evolving, but it's great to see a drug that has proven efficacy in the relapse refractory setting in DLBCL, moving now in the first line to further improve the outcome of the patient. So we have to stay tuned. There will be probably new data coming up in the next months or years regarding different combination with this drug. We have seen combination with bispecific antibodies. But again, I think POLARIX is changing the landscape in the first line setting. Let's wait for the health authority approval. But I think it's a way that we will probably modify the management of patients with this drug in the near future. That's my opinion about how we position this drug in the future for patients with DLBCL. Thank you.